Hello there, friends! The IEM Rio has come to an end. From being initially seen as a relatively insignificant event, this championship has slowly turned into a boiling point of emotions. The comeback of Vitality against Cloud9, the crazy battle between Heroic and Navi, the teams were given their all as if it was a major. And besides the exciting matches, there were constantly emerging interesting news. Team Spirit is preparing 2 substitutions, Virtus.pro is testing new players extensively, and much more. Let's get straight to it. As always, we begin with roster shuffles. Yesterday, Harumi the Insider leaked some juicy rumors. According to his information, Spirit will undergo 2 changes. Patsy and Wonderful will be out. Patsy, this sniper of the team, indirectly confirmed this when he posted similar emojis on his Telegram channel. Another insider, Jonas, also wrote a week ago that only Siren and Chopper are safe. The rest of the trio could easily leave the team. Here's what Overdrive responded regarding this. The Spirit roster will be finalized by the end of May. There is no definite decision on the roster yet. Currently, no one from the team will be kicked. We have ongoing discussions on options, and then the testing will begin. And parallel to this process, Spirit players may be tested in other teams. And let's talk a little more about the last sentence that he said. In addition to all this, Harumi shared information that Patsy is being tested in Virtus.pro, just like Poria from 9 Pandas. It seems like VP decided to test almost the entire pro scene for themselves. So yesterday was a day of insiders with a lot of information, and it's still unclear what will actually happen. Friends, which option do you like more, Inters for VP or Patsy for VP? Write in the comments below. And by the way, about Inters, it seems like he decided to hype himself up. He asked, "In which team do you see me?" And then he wrote that he is officially, according to rumors, moving to VP, and in the next post to Spirit, also officially according to rumors. So which option do you like the most? Unexpected substitutions also happened in B8. Despite the team's great performance at Aramar almost making it to the major, they decided to make changes. Alex666 will be benched. There is no information yet on who will come in his place and, most importantly, why he was benched. Also, by the way, Danish Nico revealed in an interview that the OG roster is not final. Yes, they're qualified for the major and will be playing with this lineup, but what will happen next is unknown for now. Right now, it's still one tournament at a time. But both OG and I are happy with how things are progressing right now, which is also why I'll be continuing as a stand-in for the upcoming major. Of course, it feels great being on OG right now for me. I think, generally speaking, I would like to find a permanent home to play Counter-Strike. OG will be a great place to play permanently, but I also respect that they're trying to figure out the best possible scenario for them. I have no information on what the current situation is with Nexa and what plans OG has for the future. I am still a stand-in and understand that for the time being, I'm playing as that while doing everything I can to help the team succeed. And finally, regarding reshuffles, there will be no roster changes in one win. At least they will not affect Deco.
Чё не планирую ливать к вам, блядь? Я в Европу в жизни ни ногой не пойду, блядь.
Also, Jame recently had a stream. It seems that nobody was able to record clips from it due to restrictions, but I was shared information that Jame answered a question from Travis. He asked if the major win was a coincidence, to which Jame replied, "It seems so, yes. Whether it's a joke or not, everyone can decide for themselves, and I have a bunch of other news for you." Firstly, Simple answered various questions from Brazilian journalists. "I think we're the favorites of this tournament. We need to prepare well and be ready for tomorrow's and subsequent matches. I don't care who we play against, but I would prefer fewer esports. We need to avenge our defeat against them at the last major. I want to play in front of a big crowd again. It will also be a good experience for our young players. I hope Furia wins against Heroic. As for Neymar, he's a nice guy who loves CS as much as I do. It was really great to play with him and chat. We played poker, it was interesting. I won against Neymar once. It seems that Simple is having a good time in Brazil. He even made it to the cover of a Brazilian newspaper. He's currently the main star in Brazil after Neymar, of course. And by the way, Simple also rated Neymar's game in CSGO. He tries to play smart, he doesn't rush and die. It was fun. And after that, there were suddenly talks about Neymar potentially buying out Simple from Navi and signing him for Furia. For example, James Banks asked Rups this question, to which the Estonian replied, "It's a good option. I believe anything related to Neymar is good for CS. Whatever happens, it will be good for our game. If he wanted to buy me out, for me the team is much more important than money, but 10 million sounds very tempting." By the way, Magisk also valued Zywoo at the same price, $10 million. So how much would you have to pay for Simple then? Share your options in the comments. Speaking of Zywoo, during an interview he said something very unexpected. I don't think I'm the best sniper in the world. Simple and Shiro are clearly better than me. I feel very comfortable playing with rifles as well. So I'm not just a pure sniper. Wow, what a statement. So Zywoo is real modest here. So who are we putting in the top 3 best snipers in the world and why? As always, write in the comments below. Moving on to the trending post about pro players complaining about their hectic schedule and not being able to rest. Twists was the first one to start. After losing to Vitality, he wrote that his team is exhausted. They're even glad to be out so they can finally rest. Apex joined the trend as well. Just before the final, he wrote the following. Not gonna lie, as Twists mentioned a few days ago, I'm dead as well. It's been really tough today. My energy is really low right now, but one more game to play and it's a pretty cool one. He also retweeted a post showing that they hadn't had a single day off since April 9th, and on top of that they had to fly to Brazil. Hooksy supported him in this statement. You know the schedule is rough when a player feels like this at the day before a final. Also, the summer break is going to feel bad to take because you don't want to fall behind on CS2. Well, and as always, Thorin couldn't keep silent and wrote, just wait until esports pros have to get a normal job and are informed of how many days you get off. In general, professional players were criticized for earning a lot of money and still complaining. Nico didn't appreciate that humor and replied sarcastically, it's okay, they just play video games and travel around the world. They're so lucky. I love what I'm doing and I'm really grateful for it. We all should work our ass off in whatever we are doing. My tweet was no meant to be a complaint. I just want guys to know that our job is not about playing the game. Here's how conflicts arise out of nowhere. Friends, what do you think? Is the life of a pro gamer hard or are they just complaining for no reason? Write your thoughts in the comments. In my opinion, it's very simple. When you do something professionally, it's a whole different level of work, immersion and life. This applies to any field. Never compare an amateur with a professional in their field. They are completely different levels. And the main thing before the final, a show match. Team Brazil versus Team World. It was unclear who would play in the second team, but after some time ESL announced 2 participants, Get Right and Simple. The rest of the players remained undisclosed, and only 2 hours before the start it was known that NPL, NAFANY and Keto will also be in the lineup. And as always, there was no shortage of Twitter scandals. Popular Ukrainian analyst Patrick wrote, Navi players are definitely living in their own virtual reality. Playing a show match together with a Russian player who still represents Russia on the international stage is a demonstration of tolerance to the whole world. Nothing new it seems, but every time the clubs and players' politics hurt me a lot. So I believe that we need to write about it from time to time, because silence is consent. In short, reputation lost. Senya even suggests that Ukrainian players should not even shake hands with Russians after the match. And this is just the beginning. Later, Patrick posted the following. I talked to Amiran. He told me that the Navi players got on the transfer from the hotel to the venue of the show match when their only team member was Get Right. But then when they arrived, there was also NAFANY. It was too late to refuse and they filed an official protest to ESL about it. In reality, judging by the comments, people didn't really believe it, as it seemed more like an excuse from the organization after it was hyped on social media. They recalled that NPL played AIM maps with Russian streamer Buster without any issues, and Simple shook hands with NAFANY after the show match and there was no problems at all. They sat, played, smiled. I don't know, do you believe that Simple and NPL protested against ESL because of NAFANY? But anyway, let's finish with the scandals. In the end, I want to show you some post-match interviews along with opinions about the team's results. Let's start with Cloud9, who once again missed their chance and got eliminated from the tournament, losing to Vitality. It happened at the major and now it's repeating in Brazil. What do Cloud9 need to do to learn how to close out their matches? And here's what Habit says about it.
I don't know, I just have a feeling like we're gonna close that map without any chances, to be honest. I don't know what happened. I mean, first of all, of course, their play style was good, their rotations, you know. I'm as rotation on Vertigo, it was hard to read what side they gonna end. And that's why I'm gonna say big respect for them. And second thing, Dupree. Dupree happened. I mean, he's awesome player and he did like a lot of impact for his team. So, and of course, if we're gonna talk about us, maybe it was a choke, but I didn't feel the stress or pressure. In total, this tournament, we didn't feel like such interesting parts like mental, psychology, everything was good. So my last words, they just outplayed us.
And here's Thorin once again criticizing Cloud9. One of the most embarrassing collapses I've ever seen from a Cloud9 team famous for them. Sure, Zywoo and Spinks styled on you for the decider, but it was letting Dupree almost 40 bomb you that cost you the series. And NAFANY just posted this. Honestly, I don't even know what to add here. They're doing the same thing twice in a row, losing to themselves. And even though Habit says it's not about mentality, I think it's exactly that. They lack an energetic coach or a captain like Cadian. And just confirming my thoughts, Zonic sums it up and credits their sports psychologist for this victory. What a comeback! The mental fortitude is out of this world with this team. But what can you expect with the best sports psychologist in the game? The fans are so crazy here in Rio. I love it. By the way, this is the same psychologist who led Astralis to several majors in a row and Vitality poached him. I think Cloud9 also needs to find such a person, and urgently. Friends, what do you think about the situation? Share your opinions in the comments. Moving on, let's talk about Navi's failure. There's a lot of questions about giving away a comeback on Overpass. What happened and why did it happen? And wait, was it the 114 on their own pick? Blade answered some of this. We practiced Overpass the least. When the score was 15-14, I was already confident that we would win that round, but then the mistake happened and it stuck in my head. Well, things like that happen. Our team needs to accept it and there's nothing we can do. We didn't train enough on the map. Heroic picked Overpass against us very wisely. Due to insufficient preparation, we couldn't close out many rounds. It was about macro understanding and what each player should do on the map. We will work a lot on Overpass and we will definitely improve our execution of this map. It's a shame that it didn't come to Inferno. We were happy that it was left for the decider. What happened on Ancient? Maybe we were still mentally stuck on the previous map and that's why we started slow. Also, we lost a lot of duels. Our opponents played aggressively and we couldn't outshoot them. I don't really know why it turned out that way. As for Simple's reaction, he was very dissatisfied because we played poorly on Overpass. On Ancient, it was important to stick to the plan and roles. He was unhappy with the team's discipline in specific rounds. We discussed that it's important. Heroic did a great job preparing for our game in attack. This tournament gave us confidence that we are a consistent semi-finalist team. We can't relax. We need to take that next step to reach the finals. Finally, we will have a good bootcamp. I think we need to become stronger. And here's what Bit wrote. Unfortunately, lose against Heroic didn't show our game at all. Thanks everyone for support. Not a good performance by me on this event. Sad face emoji. You can endlessly search for justifications, but on the other hand, this tournament is not really necessary. This is just practice before the major. But Thorin doesn't think so. I unironically think that Blade should consider becoming a player and be the IGL for Navi. What do you think of this option? Bringing Electronic back to his role as a star player, removing NPL and replacing him with Blade? And what's next? Bringing Kane, the former coach, as the coach? What do you think, guys? But do you know what really happened? Shush revealed it in an interview. We just knew that we had more energy and that's why we won. We knew that they ate 5 hours before the match, while we deliberately ate just before the match. We were stronger mentally and physically. Now it's all clear, Simple just didn't eat before the game. If Boomich was in the lineup, he wouldn't have made such a mistake. Here's the grid with the results of IEM Rio. Congratulations again to the guys from Vitality on their victory and Zywoo on being the tournament's MVP. By the way, Dupree became the CS most titled player. 31 trophy throughout the whole career, which is just mad crazy. Almost like Dani Alves in the world of football. Vitality showed incredible shooting skills and most importantly their championship character. If they're in the same form at the major, it will be extremely difficult to beat them. Vitality also kick off the new season of Intel Grand Slam. On the other hand, it's disappointing for Heroic, they didn't show their game. It's their 4th lost final in the last 6 months. Cadian seems cursed or something. They just play great in the semifinals and then fall short in the finals. Even the Danish player player himself admits it. We didn't show our level at all. I don't even know what to say. We didn't shoot well, played with bad timings, it was terrible. But you know that I will never give up. And let's not forget the last time we lost in Rio, we won the next championship. It's not all bad. Hooksy wrote something similar after the match. Looks like now it's clear who will win the major. It's already decided. I think Cadian summed up the final perfectly. Heroic just didn't show their CS. They, like Cloud9, have some issues in key games, and they just need to solve it before the major. That's all for me, friends. Thank you for your attention and the time you've given me. We have a lot of interesting things ahead, including the last major in CSGO history. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything CSGO related. See you soon.